Hi, I'm so I don't know. There's no one waiting. Never mind. Anyway, hi. My name's Sheraton, and this is my show in the end. Now, I've had to change the subject of the show slightly. Today I was going to be talking about Suella Braverman, who is the Home Secretary in charge of things like immigration, uh, some national security, etc., etc. But yes, I was going to be talking about her, and I was also going to be talking about Gavin Williamson, who is also a member of the cabinet. Or should I say, was a member of the cabinet, and then all of a sudden everything blew up. He's bullying and bitching about not having a ticket to the Queen's funeral. Um, well, that was revelatory. Who knew that Tories were that fragile? Anyway, so yes, he got ousted when more bullying claims came up about him. Not necessarily in his position as the chief whip, but apparently he told somebody to kill themselves. Or anyway. And then there's, oh yes, the next one is Dominic Raab. Lovely Dominic Raab. What a lovely guy. The kind of person you want to take to meet your grandmother. Yeah. Apparently, he's incredibly unpleasant. Yes, apparently so. Was he the one who told someone to throw themselves out the window? Anyway, I don't know. I keep on seeing all these Tories, all these conservative people on YouTube and in social media saying how shocked they are about how awful the people that they voted for are. They're so shocked that this government is so awful. They're so beyond the pale. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they didn't know that these were horrible, awful people. I'm shocked they didn't know that these people were truly, truly horrid people. And then there's the revelations that came out about a female MP who, upon being newly elected, was given a list of about 40 male MPs that she should never get into a lift with alone, or be in a room with alone, or be meeting alone, that she should never ever allow herself to be alone with. 40 MPs. These are the people that we vote into power. And this is not just Tories. Some of them are actually probably Labour as well, or some other party. But the fact of the matter is, these are people we vote into power, but they're so lacking in control of themselves that if they're alone with a woman in a lift, anything can happen. Then again, to be fair, Neil Parish was also an MP who was so lacking in self-control that he watched porn in the chamber. I mean, really? Dude. Although, to be fair, I took one look at him, and when he told us the site that he went to, He was looking for Dominator tractors, but when he told us the site that came up on his phone that was for something else that was a Dominator, I took one look at Neil and I was like, yeah, I know why you couldn't stay away. So I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't say that, but seriously, if ever I've ever seen a man, I mean, I can like, you know, work it out with quite a few men, but I'm just saying that, yeah, Neil did come across as a man who one could easily class as sexually submissive. So, you know, that Dominator thing was his kryptonite. I'm just saying. Anyway, getting back to the subject matter. Okay. So I thought that today, instead of looking at Gav, because Gav's gone, we'd have a brief look at Suella, a very brief look, but I'm going to have a closer look at Matt tonight and see what's going on with Matt. Now, I don't know, for my international viewers, Matt Hancock is the former health secretary. So he was in charge of the NHS pandemic response, rules in regards to social distancing, PPE, all that stuff, right? Now, Matt got himself in a little bit of trouble last year when a video of him was released in his office during a time where there was social distancing and you were not allowed to go to visit friends and families in their homes. You could perhaps meet a friend in the park, but going to someone's home was not allowed. And Matt was doing a lot more. I mean, okay, in case there are young people watching, people under the age of 18, you probably shouldn't hear this. But Matt did seem to be very interested in going to her home. This was a camera footage of him grabbing this lady, Gina Coladangelo, and wrapping his arms around her. They didn't live in the same house, although they were both married to two other people. And then he made mouth-to-mouth contact with her. And I don't think she had passed out at the time or anything like that. I think that it was not so much that he was breathing into her face. I think it was definitely a lip lock situation. And you could tell because he also had a handful of her ass. The point is, now I found it very interesting, salaciously funny, almost as if they were posing for the camera. Maybe he suddenly decided, you know what, the pandemic's over. I don't want to be a health secretary or in the cabinet anymore. Forget this job. I'm out of here. And maybe, you know, it was that, or maybe he just liked the idea of the security people downstairs in the basement watching him lipsing up his side piece and grabbing handfuls of her ass. I don't know, but I'm just saying that it was very interesting how that got leaked. Very interesting. And I don't think we ever got to the bottom of exactly how that footage got leaked. I'm just saying, I mean, you know, clearly Rupert was fed up with him and wanted him gone, but, you know, the mind boggles. So Matt has now decided, after being publicly shunned by Rishi Sunak, there is footage available that he goes to see Rishi and welcome. You won! And he goes to try and shake his hand, to push himself forward to the front of the crowd to grab Rishi's hand, and Rishi completely blanks him, walks off, and talks to the person next to him. I don't know. I got a feeling that Matt was like, I can't believe I got dissed like that. And clearly my political career is over. And I've got this divorce to pay for. And I need to get a new house. I need 400K. I'm a celebrity of being in contact. This might help. So now he's gone into this reality TV show, a reality TV show that takes place in the jungle, where celebrities are ritually humiliated, practically starved, and made to eat things voted on by the public, like kangaroo testicles and crocodile anus and witchetty grubs, and covered in cockroaches and scorpions and all kinds of creepy crawlies in the jungle. Now, it does appear that there have been a number of MPs who used to belong to the same party that Matt Hancock belonged to, except that I believe the whip may have been removed from him, because a lot of people are upset that a serving member of parliament would go on a reality TV show for weeks on end instead of serving their constituents, the people who voted for them, especially in this time of crisis. And a lot of people have been upset about his past being the former Secretary of Health, for the fact that we lost, was it 200,000 people died from COVID? More? Anyway, we've lost a lot of people from COVID in this country. We have, I think, the highest death toll in Europe. And people are still dying of COVID now. Granted, it's dropped by 90%, but some people are still dying with COVID. And long COVID, we don't know how many people long COVID has killed. We don't know how many people after gotten the disease has left scarring around their heart muscle, liver, kidneys, lungs. We don't know. So, you know, it's got to be at least 200,000. So anyway, a lot of people, members of the public, are upset because of their loved ones that they lost, because of the actions that he took, the inactions that he took, the issues that we had with PPE, etc., etc. Nurses and health staff wearing bin bags when they were providers of NHS PPE, who would have provided quality stuff for probably half the price. But, you know, so there's a lot of upset there. So I'm 15 minutes in. I'm going to do a very, very, very quick one on Suella to find out, is she going or what? Is she going to stay? Is she going to go? So Suella Braverman is, as I said, she's the Home Secretary. Her remit is law and order, policing, national security, to some extent, the courts, immigration, etc., etc. So I'd like to find out what are the energies around Suella Braverman. Now today I'm using my usual archetype cards from Caroline Miss archetype cards, and this is good for final outcomes, but it's also good for giving me an idea of the energy of the people that I'm reading on. I do actually use this when I'm doing a reading. I would use this if I was doing a reading for you. So and they're really great cards, fantastic cards. Fantastic cards. All right, so let's have a look and see what is the energy around Suella Braverman. I call her Cruella because apparently she dreams. You know how some people might dream that they went to a party, or they might dream that they've got a beautiful house, or they might dream that they've met their one and only true love, or they might dream that they won an Oscar. Suella dreams of sending people on a plane to Rwanda. She dreams of deporting people, sending black and brown individuals in handcuffs onto transport to take them to a place that they've either one, never heard of, or two, they may have heard of it, but they definitely don't want to go. That sounds strangely familiar. Anyway, let's check and see what the energy is there. Suella, Suella, Suella. Oh, Cruella, Suella. Yeah, that one definitely. I don't know, that one seems a bit blocked. Ooh, this one? Oh, this one. Okay. Cruella. That's my nickname for her anyway. Cruella. What's the energy around Cruella? Now, next, Cruella. I'm also using the Game of Thrones Tarot. I like this for politicians. I just think it works. I wonder if they've got a House of the Dragon tarot deck. Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely I'm a fantasy fan. I love fantasy. I love science fiction. So don't be surprised if you start seeing some of my cards come out a bit weird, or some of the decks I might use might be a little bit crazy. I wonder if they've got a Marvel tarot deck or an X-Men tarot deck. Anyway, so and before anyone who turns around and tells me, oh, you're a bit too old for all that, you know what? You're too grown up. Right. So, Suella. What's happening with Suella? How many cards? I'm going to pick 5, I think. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might need another one. Okay, that one's in reserve. Cruella. What's going on with you? And because I'm extra, always a bit extra. See, even my bonnet is extra. Right, because I'm me and I'm going to be a bit extra. I love me some of the Rebel deck. I don't always get it, but sometimes. Okay, Rebel. Suella. What is the thing with Suella? And she's gonna go soon. This one or this one? I'd say this one. And actually, that one too. Okay. Right. Let's do this. Right, let's have a look see. Oh, addict. Okay, helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Okay, shadow attributes. Compromises integrity and honesty. Allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. Interesting. Victim. Prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. That's the light attribute. The shadow, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity. Inability to maintain personal boundaries. Ooh. And the last one, child orphan. Interesting. Independence based on learning to go it alone. That's the light attribute. Conquering fear of surviving. The shadow attribute, however, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. Seeking inappropriate surrogate families. I think that's quite telling, to be honest with you. I think that's quite telling. Okay, right. The first cards I have here, or should I get, yeah, these ones. All right. No, I'm going to do that after. Okay, first card I have here is the Star. So the Star is usually hopeful and bright and beneficent. Hope crossed by the Empress. Okay, female authoritative. Female authoritative. Ah. Then we have the present, poverty, the Five of Coins, being left out in the cold. Oh Lord, have mercy. Ouch. 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 See, I knew I didn't have to pull many cards for this woman. I knew. Okay. To be honest, the feeling I'm getting here is that she's addicted to an ideology which she will lie and obfuscate and try to spin and pivot in order to protect. Her way of doing that is by playing the victim whilst victimizing other people. And not working within the parameters of her office. So whether that be not obeying the rules of confidential information, or not obeying the rules of the basics that we're supposed to supply for people being interned in this country. She's quite happy to compromise any integrity she has in pursuit of that ideology. And while she plays the victim, she's quite happy to break the law in regards to victimizing others. Why does she do it? She does it because at some point in her life, she felt lost. She felt like she didn't belong. And she rejected the values, belief systems, the people around her because she wanted to be accepted. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be accepted. Everybody has the desire to be accepted. Everybody has the desire to find love and acceptance in other people. Everybody wants to be in the cool gang with the cool kids. Everybody wants that. But there's a part of herself that she disowned in order to fit in with the cool kids. And in doing so, she's left with this desire to be accepted. It's an ideology. Hi, Brandy. Good evening. Good evening. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Yeah, she's left with this ideological shield. It's something for her to hide behind. And because it's the people that she likes and she wants to be in with, they also have a similar, but they have that belief as well. So she wants to be a champion of that, because she feels that the more of that ideology, the more embedded she is in that, then the more loved and respected and appreciated she will be. but there's a problem. One of the main problems is that the ideology is based on xenophobia. And she herself is a woman of color. So there's had to be a rejection of that aspect of her. So much so that it's incredibly self-destructive, which is why all the cards I pull on her energy, even though granted I am looking at the shadow attributes, they're all terrible cards. Who wants to be an addict? Who wants to be a victim? Who wants to be a child orphan? But I digress. So, in looking at the tarot, and I only pulled a very small number of cards, and the question I really wanted to know was, is she going to stick around? Are they going to get rid of her? And quite honestly, it doesn't look good. Okay. So the first card I had here was the Star card. Yeah. Okay. Right. So we have difficulty. I'm going to read it as a reverse. Disappointment, disillusionment, unfulfilled hopes, missed opportunities. That could easily be used to describe her, because she did put herself forward for the leadership race and she lost, even though her position actually looked quite good to begin with. So, disillusionment and missed opportunity. That's the first card for her. The Empress. A failure to thrive. The Empress is often a card of fertility. It's a card of female empowerment. It's a card of it's a card of, as I said, a female empowerment and motherliness and nurturing and abundance and all of that. Not in this case. Not in this case. This is a card of blocked development, which doesn't surprise me, because looking at, as I said, the energy of her, there is blocked development here. It's really quite clear. So, a failure to thrive, refusal to grow. Okay. So we have missed opportunities, blocked development, and a failure to grow. And then we have poverty, being left out in the cold. Now, I'm not sure exactly where we are along this timeline right now, because I've done something a bit different with the cards. But She's going to be left out in the cold. I think this is coming up pretty quickly. We had the recent situation that came out about the detention center, where there was a terrorist attack on the detention center, and they found things like diphtheria and all other kinds of illnesses and disease, people sleeping on floors, etc., etc., with no blankets. It's just madness, pure madness. I don't even know. I think they've got some tents or something in there. It's really, really bad. And then they started moving them into bed and breakfast type hotels in the surrounding area. Kent's falling apart. So, because they can't handle all the asylum seekers that are coming over. So, because she broke the rules that govern how we keep people in detention centres, because this also includes people, men and women, and young families and children. Because she broke the rules and she got into trouble for that, they had to then start moving people to hotel accommodation. So that has something to do with the block's development, failure to thrive. Not moving forward in the way you're supposed to move forward. Deliberately making sure that the whole asylum seeker, the whole processing situation gets so bogged down and is so slow, it's practically unworkable. So there's that. She's going to be left out in the cold. I don't know how soon they're going to get rid of her, but it's going to be, if she's not already left out in the cold right now, it's about to happen. Poverty for her. None of the things that she thinks are going to work will work. They can't work because they're not based on logic. Soon she's going to be stabbed in the back. They're going to get rid of her very soon. I would say they're going to get rid of her soon. Now, I don't know how she's going to go about it, because she is involved with the ERG, which are the swivel-eyed lunatics of the Tory party. They're the most xenophobic of the whole lot of them. But there is definitely going to be. When you see this card come up, you know it's betrayal. And you know that it's your own fault. You put some of these swords in your own back. There was only one way this shit could turn out, and that's you over. But not just over. That's over. So I don't know what. But by the time they finish with this woman, she'll have as much of a political future as Liz Truss. And I just pulled this card just to see, because I don't know, something told me to pull this card, and it was 7 of Queens. Whatever she's going to go through, it's going to be so bad that by the end of it, she's going to be rethinking her whole life. Her whole life. I don't know what they're going to do to this woman, but it's not going to be nice. I don't know how this is going to go down. Something's going to go down, and it's going to be really unpleasant, because to get the 10 of Swords followed by the 4, I'm sorry. This is bad. This is really bad. But she's going to be rethinking her whole life. I did not expect that. Oh, well. This is her thinking that she's a badass and she needs to act like it. Okay, girl. Go ahead, Cruella. Don't let your issues mess it up. Unfortunately, her issues are messed up. That's the problem. Okay. Well, as I said, 10 of swords, followed by 4 of swords, and then 7 of coins. Ooh, this is a sign. Girlfriends, I think you need to go around look for another job. I think you need to look for another job, probably not in politics. I don't know. Maybe you need to join Matt Hancock in the jungle and start eating crocodile anus. Maybe that's what you need to do because this is bad. This is bad. Oh, hey, Sylvester. Hi, lovely to see you. This is bad. My gosh. She has some terrible, terrible cards. Oh, my days. Man, I didn't even want to get into her like that. I did not even want to get into her like that. And I went into her like that. Oh, my days. I think I'm going to have to put off the Matt Hancock for another session. You know what? I think I'm going to do one on Friday. I don't want to do it on Friday though. Shall I come back tomorrow? Maybe I should come back tomorrow. But yeah, I did not expect the Suella one to go like that. That is bad. This woman. Now, for my American viewers who are wondering who is Suella Braverman, she's like the British version of a Marjorie Taylor Greene or a Lauren Boebert or something like that, except that she's a brown woman. So wow, I did not expect that. Well, in that case, I'm going to say bye because I wanted to get this down to 30 minutes and I'm always on a long thing, as you know. And I don't want to be doing videos over an hour long. And Matt's going to be like a 3-piece course. I just know. So I'm going to come back either tomorrow or Friday and I'm doing Matt Hancock. Yeah. And anyone who doesn't know about Matt Hancock, all I can say is if you Google him, you will have super giggles. This guy is on a whole other level. So with that, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much, Brandy. Thank you so much, Sylvester. I'm out of here. If you missed the beginning, for context, I would say try and grab some of the beginning because I explain who everybody is. And with that, good night. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching this on a replay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Laters. I'm out. All right. Good.